Hello, my name's Lucky. Welcome to my yoga channel. This is going to be a beginner's guide to yoga, just giving you all the tips and tricks you need to feel confident to take any yoga class, whether it's in person or following along at home. These are the building blocks of yoga. Today, we will be getting into Sun A. So almost anywhere you take a yoga class, whether it's in a studio or at home, normally your yoga teacher will somehow incorporate a Sun A aspect into their flow. So this just helps you be a little bit prepared and know what's to come. I'm going to be breaking down every posture in Sun A and then also showing you how to flow through it so you feel very prepared, including telling you what a Vinyasa is, because I think that's the hardest thing for new students to understand. All you need today is a yoga mat. You don't even really need a yoga mat. As long as you have a little bit of ground, anybody can do yoga. You do not need anything for this flow. A yoga mat is ideal, although as long as you have a little bit of ground, you're fine. If you're new to yoga, maybe you're not as flexible quite yet, blocks are your best friend. I'm going to show you Sun Salutation A with blocks. Our blocks are at the top of our mat. So Sun Salutation A begins in a mountain pose. Now mountain pose is both of your feet planted firmly on your mat or the ground. Arms are reaching above your head, palms facing each other. Our palms are not touching here, and we are actively pulling our belly button in towards our spine, engaging our glutes, protecting our lower back. And you can gaze up at your fingertips. So this is inhale mountain pose. Now there's other variations that can come along with mountain pose, but for now, we're just gonna stick with the basics. So Sun Salutation A begins with inhale mountain pose. Exhale forward fold. So a forward fold is your feet about hip width distance apart, the same as they are in mountain, hinging at our hips, coming down and allowing the crown of your head to face your mat. This is also known as an inversion. An inversion is anytime your head is below your heart. So this is a forward fold. Now your forward fold might not look like this. That's totally okay. You might have tight hamstrings. You might be hanging out more up here. Wherever you are is a great layer for you. This is where blocks can come in handy. If you maybe can't get your hands all the way to the floor, we can place a block to bring the mat to us. So inhale mountain pose. Exhale forward fold. From forward fold, we're gonna come inhale halfway lift. You bring your fingertips towards your shins, gaze slightly in front of you, and quite the opposite of a forward fold. With a forward fold, we're allowing a nice curve in our spine. In a halfway lift, we're lifting from our hips halfway, but we're also engaging our entire upper back and all of these muscles that help with your posture. So your back should look something like a table. Hands to your shins. You want to gaze slightly in front of the top of your mat to keep your neck in line with your spine. Forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Hands come to your shins, gaze forward. See how my neck is straight. I'm not looking up. I'm looking just a little further than the top of my mat. And then from here, we go exhale back into a forward fold. Inhale, mountain pose. Reaching back up, rooting to rise, grounding down through our feet, squeezing our thighs, engaging our thigh muscles, engaging our core, using the muscles in our shoulders to lift our arms up. But anytime we are in mountain pose, we do not want to be clenching our muscles, bringing our joints together. We want to be releasing. We want to be feeling very loose. So although our arms are reaching up, our shoulders are away from our ears. Our shoulder blades are pulled down our back. So you might think to be like, oh, I want to be as tall as possible. I'm reaching as high as I can with my shoulders. We never want our shoulders near our ears. Bring our shoulders down. Arms are reaching up. You do not need to lock out your elbows if you're like me. Micro bend is great. From mountain pose to flow through your Vinyasa. So before we get to Vinyasa, we're going to go over what Sun Salutation is one more time because it's that simple. That's all it is. Inhale, mountain pose. Exhale, forward fold. Now, if you can't hang heavy here, if maybe your hamstrings are a little bit tight, you could feel free to bring the block to you if you need. Although it is totally okay to hang like this, whatever is more comfortable to you. You can also use the block on any height you want if you want kind of that like letting go feeling of allowing your hands to touch something. Inhale, halfway lift. The best thing about blocks is you can use them at any level that's right for you. So maybe you're up here, halfway lift. This really helps you remember to have that nice flat back, like a table, as if someone can come over and just set a glass of water on your back. So I recommend using your blocks at the highest setting in halfway lift. It just gives you that mind to muscle connection, remembering that we're staying lifted through our spine. A lot of students I see in class, they'll be like, halfway lift. We're not getting the benefits here. We want our back engaged. We want all of these muscles up here to be working. So using the blocks is a great way to make sure they're working. We're gonna move on to your vinyasa. I notice the most when I'm teaching classes or when I'm taking classes, teachers will be like, flow through your vinyasa. And students are like, what is my vinyasa? I haven't made a vinyasa, you know? So most of the time when we're coming out of mountain pose, as sun salutation A starts with mountain and ends with mountain, continuous cycle, we could be doing this all day. But most of the time in class, you go from mountain pose to flow through your vinyasa. I'm gonna show you what your vinyasa is so you don't have to worry about it. Say we're in a class, the teacher goes, and exhale, flow through your vinyasa. A vinyasa is 3 postures, starting out with high plank. So from mountain pose, exhale, flow through your vinyasa. Plant our hands slightly in front of us at the top of our mat, step our feet back into a high plank. Now here, our tailbone is tucked under, our thighs are engaged and flexed, our shoulders are directly above our wrists, and we're pressing firmly into all 10 fingers. If you get one thing from this video, please let it be, anytime we're putting weight on our wrists, we want to be pressing firmly into our fingers, where if you look down at your mat, your hand, you want your hand to be white, like you want to be pressing into your fingers. This really helps take pressure off of your wrists. I promise you will notice a difference. Back in high plank, we're pressing firmly into our fingertips, our tailbone is tucked, our shoulders are above our wrists, and our feet are about hip width distance apart. Now, this is the first pose of a regular classic vinyasa. Inhale, mountain pose. Exhale, flow through your vinyasa. That would be a forward fold. Stepping it back, inhale to high plank. Exhale, chaturanga. Chaturanga is a yogi push-up. We go from high plank, lower yourself halfway down. You do not have to go all the way down. Don't go all the way down. We'll do a lot of vinyasas throughout class, and you would get very tired. You still probably will get very tired. From our high plank, chaturanga, yogi push-up halfway down. Elbows are tucked into our ribs. Not a push-up. So as a front on view, you're never going like this in a yoga class. Never. For your chaturanga, you're going like this. Your elbows are coming in towards your lower ribs. If your waist goes in, they might not touch your ribs. If your waist is pretty parallel on both sides, you might feel your elbows against your ribs. So high plank, exhale chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Everyone's favorite. Now, upward facing dog is actually one of the postures I see students doing wrong the most. And that is because in upward facing dog, you're from here. Ideally, you want to tuck your toes and push yourself up. Although I'm wearing tight pants, I don't know if I can show you this, but my thighs are not touching the mat. It's okay if you do, but it's really ideal for you not, because you don't want to be laying into your lower back. I find that if our thighs are on the mat and we're kind of just like this, we're very loose here. This is a very passive stretch. We're just laying all of our weight into our lower vertebra of our lower back. So we untuck our toes. So it's the tops of your feet on the mat. Your thighs are lifted, you're up. I think of it more as like a lizard, like when the lizards do their push-ups. So this is upward facing dog. Still pressing firmly into all 10 fingers. Arching our back, lifting our spine, gazing up towards the sky. That's an inhale. We're shining our heart center forward, creating space in our lungs for air. So one more time from the top would be mountain pose. Exhale, flow through your vinyasa, which is a forward fold. Stepping it back, high plank. Do not feel a need to float. You can just step it back, high plank. This is an inhale. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. And then from here, exhale, downward facing dog. But it's also one of the most important. It's a great way to stretch your hamstrings, great way to engage your shoulders, come back to your breath. It's almost like it's kind of interesting because you want to be actively working in downward facing dog, but a lot of times in power vinyasa classes, they almost treat it as a rest in my opinion. This is downward facing dog. We are always pressing firmly into all 10 fingertips, and just our toes are on the ground. The goal in downward facing dog is to melt your heels into the mat, but you have to have very loose hamstrings for that, so that's not very realistic. Our feet are on the ground and our hands, we're pressing evenly into both. So you shouldn't be really far forward hinging. You shouldn't have all your weight in your hips. Maybe if you can, want to gaze back in between your big toes. Let your neck hang heavy. This is the best posture ever. Although mountain pose is really the start and the end of sun salutation A, a lot of the times you would think that it would be downward facing dog, because a lot of times we'd start here. So to keep the circle of sun salutation A going, it'd be downward facing dog. Inhale, look forward. Maybe you look forward a little bit, bringing your neck up, out of line with your spine, that's okay. Bend your knees a little bit. Exhale, forward fold. So you could choose to float into a forward fold, but that is a more advanced move. So what we would like to do is, we're in downward facing dog, exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, look forward. Maybe get a micro bend in your knees going. Exhale, step to the top of your mat, forward fold. See how now that we're back in forward fold, we're back in part of that sun salutation A. Does anybody really know the start or end of a circle? I don't know, but hopefully this helped you a little bit understand what the postures are. Now I'm gonna flow through it one time as if we would in class, so you can see what the flow is supposed to look like. Please, key thing to remember, although my pants are very flowy, the tops of my thighs are not touching my mat in an upward facing dog. This makes it a lot harder. You might have to modify. That's okay. It's better to have correct form than to be doing a posture intensely but wrong, because that's how we get injured. So here we go. Inhale, mountain pose. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, mountain pose. Exhale, flow through your vinyasa. Inhale, high plank. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. And exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, look forward. Exhale, step to the top of your mat, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, mountain pose. And exhale, forward fold. There's no start and no end. I hope this video gave you a little bit of the insight that you need. This is just the first of very many parts of this sequence, the first stretch. Next, I'll be going over sun salutation B and maybe answering a few questions if you guys want to leave them in the comments. I'll also link a really good mat and some really good blocks, because I do think, although you want to buy the mat's cute, the mat's fun, the blocks feel a little unnecessary. But if you really want to get your form down as a beginner, blocks can be very helpful. Thank you so much for watching. I'm so excited to continue this series. I hope you continue to watch. Comment any questions you want and I'll answer them in the beginning of next video. Thank you so much. Bye.